Good morning, friends. So today we are here for our fourth and final class for the September shifting series this month. Hopefully you've been able to come along with me. We've had part 1, which was grounding into change. Part 2, letting go, things that no longer serve us. Part 3 last week was embracing these changes and adapting to a new way of life. And today, part 4, harvesting change. So today we'll start our class with a gentle guided meditation and find a comfortable seat on your mat. I invite you to soften your eyes. Let's take a breath in together as we inhale here through our nose. Breath in. And exhale, release a sigh from your mouth. Breath out. Allow your body to settle and allow your mind to soften. Without any judgment, gently bring to mind a season of change in your life, maybe recent or long past. And as you sit with this change, imagine you're a farmer standing at the edge of your field. It is the end of the season, and the time for harvest has come. You begin to walk slowly through the rows, gathering what has ripened, maybe the insights, the strength, the resilience. These are your crops, the lessons that nourish you and the growth that has begun to take root within you. And just as a farmer sets aside what has spoiled, you too can release what no longer is serving you. There is no need to carry what cannot grow. Let it fall gently back into the earth. Let it become part of the soil beneath your feet as you rise above it. Feeling lighter now, wiser, ready for what lies ahead. Breathe in and breathe out. Feel this space within you, now cleared, tended, and ready. The season of harvest has come, and you are ready to begin again. With this message in mind, allow yourself to soften here. Again, without judgment, observe how this change has affected you, your mind, your body, your thoughts, and your emotions. And as you move through your practice today, you can come back to this idea of being your own farmer, harvesting what serves you and releasing what doesn't. On your next inhale, I invite you to reach your hands overhead, maybe flutter those eyes open as you look between the hands. And as you exhale, bring those palms together, dropping those hands down to your heart center, Anjali Mudra. Welcome to our practice today. I want to remind you that I am simply your guide. And I want to remind you to take everything that you need, listening to your own body, and leave behind what you don't. This is your practice. Let's begin. Drop those hands down onto your knees. Sitting in our Sukhasana, cross-legged position, we'll start our flow today with some seated cat and cows. So as you go ahead, inhale, open up that chest, lift the crown of your head. Exhale, round your spine, chin to chest. Inhale, proud chest, lift the chin. And exhale, round and tuck. Take that 2 more times. Inhale for cow. And exhale, cat. Last time we inhale. And exhale, find a neutral spine. We're going to continue with this movement, but adding in the arms now. So as you inhale, I invite you to open up your arms into cactus arms, still bring that chest forward, chin is lifted. And as you exhale, round and tuck, but give yourself a big squeeze. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, lift the chest, open those arms. Exhale, round and squeeze. 1 more time. We inhale, lift and open. Exhale, round and tuck. Inhale, bring those arms back to cactus, lifting that chest. And exhale, go ahead and place those hands gently on your knees. On your next inhale, sweep those hands up and overhead, gaze between those fingers. And exhale, plant those palms into the mat, shift into your tabletop position. Here in tabletop, hands are below the shoulders, knees are below the hips, and begin to find any movement that feels good. Dropping those hips back to the heels, moving your body, awakening your spine, pushing into those hands, really wake up those wrists. Take anything you need here for the next couple breaths. And when you're ready, go ahead and find that neutral spine. Let's take 2 more rounds of our cat and cow in tabletop. Dropping the belly, lift the chin. We inhaled for cow. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin, coming into cat. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Inhale back to your neutral spine. On our next inhale, we'll keep the left hand planted. Sweep that right arm up, gazing at that right hand. Exhale, thread the needle to hover. Inhale, sweep that right arm back up. Exhale, thread and hover. Inhale, sweep that arm up 1 more time. Exhale, thread, and allow that right arm to drop onto the mat. Staying here, maybe you sweep that left arm up and around your lower back. Take 1 inhale here. And exhale, plant that left hand back down onto the mat. As we inhale, sweep that right arm up. And exhale, plant it back down onto the mat into your tabletop position. We'll go ahead and take that on the left side. Keeping that right hand planted this time, we inhale, sweep the left arm up, gaze at those left fingers. Exhale, thread your needle and hover here. Inhale up. Exhale, thread and hover. Inhale up. Exhale, thread, and allow your left arm to drop onto the mat. Right hand can stay planted into the mat, or maybe you go ahead and sweep it around that lower back, taking 1 breath here. On the exhale, plant that hand back into the mat. Inhale, sweep that left arm up 1 more time. Exhale, plant it down, tabletop. On the next inhale, tuck those toes. On the exhale, send it back, taking our first downward dog of the practice. Pedal it out here. We're really going to be moving today, so make sure your body is feeling awake and stretched. On the inhale, maybe you come up onto those toes. Exhale, sink the heels into the mat. On empty, walk those feet to hands, top of the mat. We inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, arms sweep overhead. Send those hips forward for a gentle back bend. Exhale, loud sigh, Tadasana. So I've added a couple variations for today's practice. We'll move through our original Sun A 3 times to loosen up the body, get ourselves awake and ready to move. And as we move through our series today, we'll be building strength and resilience as we add on new poses and work through really pushing ourselves throughout our practice. We will take a slight intermission to do some core and arm strengthening. You can thank me later. And then we'll be moving on. So let's begin. We're at the top of our mats, activating those feet, starting with our Surya Namaskar A. Let's flow. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back, taking your first vinyasa. Rolling those shoulders back, we inhale, exhale, downward facing dog. Pedal out here, find your breath. If at any point throughout your practice today, you're feeling like you can't do it, connect back to your breath. Find a child's pose, take a sip of water, listen to your body. On the inhale, we come up onto the toes. Exhale, drop those heels down. On empty, feet to hands, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, arms sweep overhead. Exhale, Tadasana. 2 more times. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back, chaturanga. Inhale for cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, send it back, downward facing dog. Hopefully we're feeling a little bit more loose right now. We have this one more time before we move into our variations. Inhale, come up onto those toes. Exhale, drop those heels. Feet to hands, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, root to rise. Arms sweep overhead. Exhale, big sigh. Tadasana, mountain pose. One more time. I'll just cue our breath for this one so you can practice working with your inhales and exhales through our movements. Let's flow. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Find yourself in your downward facing dog. Awesome job. Take anything else you need here. Maybe you reach those hands back, grabbing those ankles, stretching that body. We're going to be building a lot of heat today, so find your water, take what you need. Inhale, come up onto those toes. Exhale, drop the heels. On empty, feet to hands, top of the mat. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. So take a sip of water if you need it. I'll do my best to offer modifications throughout our practice. I do have a block with me today, so if you have any props with you, maybe pause this video. Make sure they're nearby, top of your mat. But with that being said, let's flow. Activate those feet at the top of the mat. Start with your right foot. Lift all of those toes, and one by one, spread them down into the mat. Go ahead and take that same thing on the left side. Lift those toes, and one by one, spread them into your mat. We're moving here. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back. Chaturanga. Inhale for cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, take your downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg sweeps up to the sky. Maybe you stack that right hip on top of the left, take those ankle circles, or maybe you go ahead and take some bigger hip circles here. Both directions, warming up the hip area. Inhale once more. Exhale, plant that foot between your hands, top of the mat. Setting ourselves up for warrior one, shift that left foot back 45 degrees. We inhale, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, stay here. Sinking into this pose. Make sure those hips are squared. Maybe I have to pull my right hip back slightly. If there's a lot of pressure on this back left knee, maybe you go ahead and take high crescent lunge today. So staying in your high lunge or warrior one, we're here for 2 breaths. Inhale, maybe reach those arms up a little more. Exhale, sink into that front leg. If you're in warrior one, our weight is pressing into that back left pinky toe, distributing equally with my front leg as well. One more inhale. Exhale, we shift, opening into those warrior two arms. Gaze back at that left hand. Is it in line with the front? Staying here for 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale, sink a little deeper. Gaze is at that front right hand. Keep breathing. One more inhale, reach that right arm forward, flip the palm. Exhale, reverse your warrior. 3 breaths. Keep that right knee bent. Gaze is up at that right hand. Keep breathing here. Arm can stay behind your back, or maybe you go ahead and reach for that calf or thigh here, whatever feels good. Take one more inhale. Reach a little further. Exhale, cartwheel those hands down. Frame that right foot. Step it back. Take your chaturanga. We inhale for cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Awesome job. We'll go ahead and take that same thing. Left side. Find your breath here. All right, on the next inhale, left leg sweeps up to the sky. Stack that hip. Left on top of right this time. Maybe take those ankle rolls or take any hip circles that you need. Inhale. Exhale, step it through. Setting up for warrior one. That right foot shifts 45 degrees. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, sink into your pose. Make sure those hips are squared. On the inhale, reach through your spine. And on the exhale, soften a little deeper into that front leg. Still pushing into the outer pinky toe of my right back foot. Breathing here. Inhale. Exhale, we open those arms, Virabhadrasana 2. Make sure those arms are in line with one another. Sinking down into that left leg here. Gaze is at my left hand this time. On the next inhale, I reach my left arm forward, flip that palm, exhale, reverse my warrior. 3 breaths here. Hand again can stay behind the back, or maybe you go ahead and take the thigh or the calf. Keep sinking into that left thigh as much as it burns. You can do it. Inhale, reach. Exhale, cartwheel those hands down. Frame the left foot. Step it back. Take your vinyasa. Cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Whew. Find your breath here. Pedal it out. This was variation 1. We have a few more to go. We're just warming up our bodies right now. You can do this. Inhale, maybe you come up onto those toes. Exhale, drop those heels. On empty, feet to hands, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, hold. Grounding those feet, we inhale, root to rise, arms sweep overhead. Exhale. Tadasana. Awesome job, friends. We're moving back onto our right side, building a little bit more with our next standing sequence. It's nothing you can't handle. Just listen to your body, find your water, take your child's pose. You can do this. Okay, for our next standing sequence, I recommend having a block at the top of your mat. We will be moving in Trikonasana, our triangle pose, and sometimes that's nice to just add a little bit of length there, having the block accessible. Okay, friends, let's flow. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, step or jump back into your chaturanga. Inhale for cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale, take your downward facing dog. Allow yourself to settle here before we move. Make sure your hands are hip width distance. We're really pressing into all knuckles of those hands, not just the base of your hand. On the inhale, send that right leg up to the sky. Exhale, step it through, setting up for our Virabhadrasana 1. Shift that left foot 45 degrees or take your high crescent lunge. On the next inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, sink into your warrior 1. Square those hips. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale, warrior 2. Staying here for one breath. Sinking a little deeper on that exhale. On the next inhale, reach that right palm forward. Flip it. Exhale, reverse your warrior. One breath here. Inhale. Exhale, coming back into warrior 2. Go ahead and straighten that front right leg. Send that left hip back. Kind of pop it out there. Reach as far forward in front of you as you can. And then allow that right hand to fall on the inside of that right foot. Hand can rest on the ankle. Maybe it reaches the ground. Or perhaps you go ahead and take that block on the inside, taking your Trikonasana triangle pose. With our left hand here, you almost want to imagine that someone is trying to lift you up. Someone's grabbing that left hand, pulling you up. These arms are in line here, and my gaze is up at that left hand. Also, I want to mention to keep a slight micro bend in this knee. You don't want to lock that front knee. If you need to keep a deeper bend in it, totally fine. Just really try to avoid locking that knee in place because that's where we see those injuries. So keeping that small micro bend here in our Trikonasana. Staying here for 3 breaths. Keep engaging your core. You're strong here, strong and steady. Take one more breath here. Exhale. On the next inhale, pull yourself back up to standing. Exhale, interlace those hands behind your back like this. Inhale, broaden your chest, lifting your crown to the sky. Exhale, hover, take your humble warrior. So my head is falling towards the left side of my right thigh, and my right shoulder is just hovering over the top of my right thigh here in humble warrior. I have that bend in my knee. Go ahead and step that left foot forward a little bit if you need to help with your stance. And here with the feet, you kind of want to make sure that they're not on the same track. We want opposite tracks to help balance ourselves in this pose. Maybe that right heel is in line with the back of my left heel. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, soften. Inhale, reaching that chest back up, releasing those hands, sweeping the arms back into warrior 1. Exhale, frame that right foot, move that block out of your way, and step it back, taking your vinyasa. Inhale for cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, send it back for your downward facing dog. Awesome job, friends. We're moving on to the left side. You're doing great. Keep it up. All right, friends, let's move. On the inhale, sweep that left leg up to the sky. Exhale, step that left foot between your hands. Setting ourselves up for warrior 1. Right foot shifts 45 degrees. We inhale. Exhale, sink into your warrior 1. Breathing here for one breath. We inhale. Exhale, open, warrior two. Staying here for just one breath. Gaze is at that front hand. Inhale, send that left hand forward. Flip the palm. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Breathing here. We inhale. And exhale back to warrior two. Same thing left side. Go ahead and straighten that left leg. Pop that right hip out. So you reach all the way forward in front of you as you can. Exhale, drop that left hand down on the inside of that left ankle. Right arm sweeps overhead. Again, option to have your block here if you need it. Try not to lock that left knee. Keep a micro bend there. And we're reaching up, gazing at our right hand. Imagine someone's there pulling you up, lengthening your body, engaging your core. Here for 3. For 2. And 1. On the next inhale, sweep yourself back up to that standing pose. Exhale, interlace your hands behind your back. Inhale, broaden the chest, lift the crown of your head. Exhale, humble warrior. Left shoulder falls just over that left thigh. And our head drops on the inside of our left foot. Here for 3. On the next inhale, pull yourself back up to stand. Release those hands, sweep them up for warrior one arms. Exhale, plant those hands, framing the left foot. Step it back, take your vinyasa. Inhale. Exhale. Breathing here in your downward facing dog. Find your breath. On empty, feet to hands at the top of your mat. We inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, arms sweep overhead. Exhale, Tadasana. So we'll go ahead and take that series one more time, moving more with a breath to movement, adding in our core and arm strengthening after that. So starting back on our right side, moving a little bit faster. Again, listen to your body, take what you need. This is your practice. I am just your guide. Okay, friends, let's flow. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back, chaturanga. Inhale for cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right side, we inhale, right leg sweeps up to the sky. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, open for warrior two. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, flip the palm, reverse your warrior. Inhale here. Exhale, back to warrior two. Go ahead and straighten that front right leg. Pop that left hip. We inhale here. Exhale, reach forward and allow yourself to fall into your Trikonasana triangle pose right side. Keeping that micro bend in the front right knee. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, pull yourself back up to standing. Exhale, interlace those hands behind your back. Inhale, broaden the chest, lift the chin. Exhale, humble warrior. Inhale, back up. Arms sweep up for warrior one. Exhale, chaturanga. Awesome job. Every breath, every movement. Connect your body to your breath here. All right, friends, we're moving on to that left side one more time before we take our little intermission. Let's do it. All right, on the inhale, left leg sweeps up to the sky. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, open those arms, warrior two. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, flip the palm, reverse your warrior. Inhale here. Exhale, back to warrior two. Straighten that front leg on the inhale. Exhale, reach forward, drop that left arm on the inside of that left ankle. Trikonasana pose. Inhale, pull yourself back up to standing. Exhale, interlace those hands behind your back. Inhale, broaden that chest, lift the chin. Exhale, humble your warrior. Inhale, back up to standing. Sweep those arms up for warrior one arms. Exhale, chaturanga. Staying here in our high plank, we drop down on to our forearms. Walk those feet a little closer, coming into your dolphin pose. We're going to go ahead and take 3 rounds of dolphin push-ups. I'll go ahead and show you what that looks like. You're pressing the weight into your hands, pushing yourself up, and exhale, dropping back down onto those forearms. So we'll go ahead and take that 3 times. We inhale, push up. Exhale, drop down. Inhale, up. Exhale, drop down. One more time. Inhale, push up. Exhale, drop back down onto the forearms. Walk those feet back, coming back into our forearm plank. Starting on our left side, we're moving into a side plank. So walk that left hand towards your right elbow, rolling onto that outer left foot. We open here for our left side plank. Option to stay here, or maybe you go ahead and take those tree legs, hover that right leg over the left, or just stay here. 2 more breaths. And go ahead and drop that right arm back down, moving on to our right side this time. We walk that right hand towards our left elbow, rolling onto the outer right edge of our foot, opening up here for our right side plank. Staying here, 2 breaths. You're so strong. 1 more inhale. And exhale, come back down onto that forearm plank, holding here for just 3 breaths before we rest. Send those heels back. You're strong here. One more inhale. Exhale, go ahead and lower yourself all the way down onto your mat. Find your breath. We'll take 1 round of our locust pose before moving into a gentle shoulder stretch and pushing back into our standing series. Okay, friends, for our locust, we'll start with our palms here. We'll go ahead and take our cactus arms locust, unless you would prefer to take your original locust with the arms stacked down by your side, palms facing down. However, if you're with me, hands are planted just outside our shoulders. And on the inhale, we're going to lift our limbs in upper torso. As we inhale, we go ahead and lift, reach through your legs. Neck is long and in line with your spine. Staying here for 3, for 2, and 1. Inhale. Exhale. Go ahead and lower back down onto the mat. Good job. You are so strong. We're almost there. All right, so we're going to go ahead and just take a gentle shoulder stretch. Walk yourself a little bit forward on your mat if you need to. Fingertips are going to come to the outer edges of our mat. So slightly in line, arms, elbows are about at a 90-degree angle here. And go ahead and push yourself up on the inhale. Then exhale, lower back down. Warming up our spine on the next inhale, push yourself up. And as you exhale this time, drop your right elbow down to the mat. Inhale, we push back up. Exhale, drop that left shoulder down to the mat. We'll take that 1 more time. Inhale, back up. Exhale, right. Inhale, back up. Exhale, left. Inhale, back up. Hold here. Inhale, reach a little bit higher through the crown. And exhale, lower all the way down. Planting those hands below our shoulders this time. Inhale and exhale, send it back, taking a child's pose. Allow that forehead to come down onto the mat. Connect with your breath here. Maybe you walk those hands out a little bit further, pushing them into the mat, allowing your hips to sink closer to those heels. On the inhale, we shift back up into a tabletop position. Exhale, tuck the toes, send it back for your downward facing dog. Awesome job, friends. We have 2 more standing flows. You are capable. You are resilient. You can do this. Inhale, come up onto those toes. Exhale, sink the heels down. On empty, feet to hands, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, root to rise, arms sweep overhead. Exhale, Tadasana. Before we begin, take a quick sip of water if you need it. 2 more flows. Once we'll run through a little bit slower, holding the poses for slightly longer. Second time through, we'll work breath to movement, moving a bit quicker before we come down onto our backs. Hang in there. All right, friends, let's flow. You can do this. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step or jump into your chaturanga. Inhale for cobra, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg sweeps up to the sky. Exhale, step it through, preparing for warrior 1. Shift that left foot 45 degrees. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, sink here into your warrior. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, we open, warrior 2 arms, breathing here. Sink a little deeper on the exhale. Inhale, reach forward, flip that palm. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Inhale. Exhale, back into our warrior 2. Go ahead and straighten that right front leg. We inhale here. Exhale, reach forward in front of you, dropping that right hand on the inside of that right ankle, opening up into our Trikonasana triangle pose. Breathing here, 1 breath. Exhale, sink a little deeper. Remember, keep that micro bend in the right knee. On the inhale, pull yourself up to standing. Exhale, interlace those hands behind your back. Inhale, broaden the chest. Exhale, hover into your humble warrior. 1 breath here. Inhale, pull yourself up to stand. Arms sweep up for that warrior 1. Exhale, we open for warrior 2. Reach forward, flip that palm. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Inhale, coming into our side angle lunge. We're still moving. Exhale, back. Reverse your warrior. Inhale, side angle lunge. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, side angle lunge to hold here. So here are a couple options. You can stay here in our side angle. Option to drop your right hand down on the inside of your right foot. Great opportunity to place that block here to add some length to your arms. Or you can go ahead and take a bind. So my right hand will come underneath my right thigh, reaching towards my left hand that is sweeping up and back. I can stay here taking my bind. Inhale, opening up my chest. Or maybe you want a little bit more, and you can go ahead and practice your bird of paradise. So I'll be walking my left foot closer to my right, coming up onto those right tippy toes, and slowly, with control, pushing up into my bird of paradise. Go ahead and play around with this a little bit. If the bind is perfect for you today, great, stay there. Come back down with control. We'll find ourselves in our side angle. We have 2 more breaths here, so continue to play around if you're working with your bird of paradise. Or maybe you just keep your bind, opening up your chest here. 2 breaths. Take what you need, leave what you don't. You're doing awesome. Inhale, go ahead and sweep back up, reversing your warrior. Exhale, cartwheel those hands down, frame that right foot, step it back, take your vinyasa. Back into your downward dog. Breathing here before we move on to our left side. Finding your breath here. On the next inhale, sweep that left leg up to the sky. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, warrior one, left side. Exhale, sink into your pose here. Inhale here. Exhale, we open, warrior two. Sink a little deeper into that left front leg. Inhale, we reach forward, flip that palm. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Staying here, one breath. Inhale. Exhale, we go back to warrior two. Inhale, straighten that left leg. Exhale, reach forward, letting your left hand fall on the inside of your left ankle for our Trikonasana pose, left side. Breathing here. Inhale, pull yourself back up to stand. Exhale, interlace those hands behind your back. Inhale, open your chest, lift the chin. Exhale, bend that left knee. Hover into your humble warrior. Breathing here, one breath. Inhale, come back up to stands. Release those hands, sweep those arms up for warrior one. Exhale, we open, warrior two. Inhale, reach forward, flip that palm. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Inhale, side angle lunge. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, side angle. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, side angle to hold. Go ahead and stay here, or exhale, drop, or exhale, drop that hand down, or maybe you go ahead and take a bind on your left side. If you're feeling like you want to challenge yourself, try that bird of paradise. If not, stay here in your side angle. We're here for 4 breaths. Listen to your body. Gaze can be up at that right hand. On our next inhale, sweep yourself back up into reverse warrior. Exhale, cartwheel those hands down, framing that left foot. Step it back. Take your vinyasa. Find yourself in your downward facing dog. Paddle it out here. On empty, walk those feet to your hands, top of the mat. Go ahead and take an extended forward fold here. Maybe you come into ragdoll, opposite hand, opposite elbow. Spreading your feet a little bit wider, out, allowing a slight bend in those knees. Maybe rocking from side to side. Or perhaps you want to go ahead and take peace fingers, your index and middle fingers, wrapping around those big toes. Inhaling for a halfway lift, and exhale, folding forward, sinking here. But take whatever forward fold you need. Just a couple breaths before we move into our Tadasana. Resetting here, preparing for the motion. Recharging. We have one more flow, moving breath to movement before we find ourselves on our back. So take this moment to rest. Drop those hands to the mat, feet hip width distance apart. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, root to rise, arms sweep overhead. Exhale, let out an audible sigh. Tadasana. Okay, friends, I mentioned it already. Last side, moving breath to movement. If you're ready to join me, we'll flow. If you're ready to move on to your backs, listen to your body. You know it better than I do. Breath to movement. Let's flow. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step or jump back into your vinyasa. Inhale for cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right side. Inhale, right leg up to the sky. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, sink into warrior two. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Inhale here. Exhale, back to warrior two. Inhale, straighten that right leg. Exhale, reach forward, falling into your Trikonasana triangle pose. Inhale, back up to stand. Exhale, interlace those hands behind your back. Inhale, opening up the chest. Exhale, slight bend in that right knee. Folding forward, hovering in our humble warrior. Inhale, back up to stance. Release those hands. Warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach forward, flip the palm. Exhale, reverse. Inhale here. Exhale, side angle lunge. Inhale. Exhale, side angle. Inhale. Exhale, side angle. Last time, inhale, reverse that warrior. Exhale, cartwheel those hands down, frame the right foot, step it back, take your vinyasa. Nice job. Pedal it out here. Last side, last standing sequence. We can do this. Inhale, left leg sweeps up. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, Virabhadrasana, warrior one, left side. Exhale, we open, warrior two. Inhale, reach forward, flip the palm. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Inhale here. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten that left leg. Exhale, reach forward, falling into your Trikonasana, left side, right arm overhead. Inhale, back up to stand. Exhale, interlace those hands behind your back. Inhale, broaden the chest, lift the chin. Exhale, bend that left knee. Hover in your humble warrior. Inhale, back up, open the chest, sweep those arms up for warrior one. Exhale, we open, warrior two. Inhale, reach forward, flip that palm. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Inhale here. Exhale, side angle lunge. Inhale here. Exhale, side angle. Last time we inhale. Exhale, side angle. Inhale for your final reverse warrior. And exhale, cartwheel those hands down, frame the left foot, step it back, and take your vinyasa. Awesome job. Find yourself in your downward facing dog. The standing sequences are over. Good work, my friends. From downward dog, drop the knees, push back into a child's pose. Softening into your mat here. The hard work is done. Inhale. Exhale. Maybe release that audible sigh. On our next inhale, we're going to push ourselves back into a tabletop position when you're ready. And on the exhale, tuck those toes. We'll take one more downward dog. On the inhale, right foot sweeps up to the sky. And as you exhale, bring that right knee towards your right elbow, coming into pigeon pose on the right side. So maybe you walk this left leg back a little bit, allow the toes to untuck. Option to place a block below your right sits bones to help square your hips if you see that there's a lot of space between here and the ground. And before we bring our forehead down to the mat, I invite you to plant your fingertips into your mat here. As you inhale, lift your head, open your chest. Exhale, keep your chest open, fold down. Inhale, tuck your chin to your chest as you come up. And exhale, open the chest as you come back down. One more time. Inhale, push up. And exhale, fold down to the mat. Maybe bringing your forearms out in front of you and allowing your forehead to fall here on the mat. Resting in your pigeon pose for several breaths. And your next inhale, when you're ready, begin to walk your hands back in front of you, pushing yourself up. Go ahead and tuck those left toes. And when you're ready, we'll come back into our three-legged dog, kicking our right leg up and over, maybe opening up that hip one final time. And exhale, dropping that foot down onto the mat. This time we go ahead, inhale, bring that left leg up to the sky. Exhale, left knee behind that left elbow, right foot towards that right wrist, dropping down into our pigeon pose. Again, I like to place my left knee first, drop my right knee, and slowly walk that leg back, finding the position that feels the best for my hips. Again, if I need the block to close the space between my sits bones to the mat, I can go ahead and put that there. Once I've walked my foot back, I untuck my toes, fingertips are planted into the mat. I go ahead and inhale here. Exhale, keeping my chest lifted, I fall down to the mat. Inhale, chin to chest, pushing back up. Exhale, dropping down. One more time. Inhale, pushing up. And exhale, folding down, allowing my forearms to come to the mat. Maybe my forehead follows behind. Sinking here into my pigeon pose for another few breaths. Okay, when you're ready, begin to walk your hands back. Tuck those right toes and prepare to send your left leg back up into a three-legged dog, maybe opening up that hip here once more. And exhale, dropping that foot down onto your mat. Transitioning onto our back, we'll move through a malasana squat. So we can start with our right foot, stepping up behind our right hand, toes out, heels in, followed by our left foot. You might need to move your body forwards and backwards to giving yourself the momentum to step that left foot up to the front. Sinking down into my malasana squat, opening up my chest, pushing the area below my knees away with my triceps. Tailbone is pointed towards the ground, and I'm pushing into all four corners of my feet. We'll stay here for just one breath. Lifting the crown of my head, opening my chest. And exhale, softening here. With control, on my next inhale, I'll go ahead and sweep one arm back, facing it behind me, followed by the other, coming down onto my sits bones. Before we lower all the way down onto our back, we'll take one round of our boat pose. So with the soles of the feet planted into the mat, arms are framing my legs, palms facing each other. And on the inhale, begin to float those feet off the ground, coming back into my boat. Maybe I stay here, or for extra support, I can grab my hamstring area. My spine is long, my chest is lifted. Staying here for 3 breaths. Engage that core. One more inhale. And then as you exhale, slowly and with control, lower all the way down onto your backs. As you inhale, bring those knees into your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Maybe rocking from side to side, massaging that spine. And as you exhale here, extend that left leg long as you hold your right knee tightly into your chest. Grabbing the outer edge of your right thigh, go ahead and pull that right leg towards the left side of your body. Right arm reaches out to the right side, followed by your gaze as we lay here in our supine twist. Breathing here, keeping those shoulders planted onto the mat. On your next inhale, roll back on. On your next inhale, bring both those knees back into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. And as you exhale, extend the right leg this time, grabbing the outer edge of your left thigh and pulling it over towards your right side, extending that left arm out long, followed by your gaze for our left side supine twist. Take one more breath here. Inhale, knees back into your chest. Giving yourself another squeeze. Maybe you go ahead and come into your happy baby here. Grabbing the outer edges of your feet. Pulling those knees towards your armpits and trying to keep the lower back, the sacrum, planted into the mat. Rolling side to side. And if there's anything else in your practice that you're feeling called to before you find your Shavasana, please take the next few moments and take that pose. Listen to your body. And when you're ready, we'll bring those knees back into our chest, giving ourselves one big, big squeeze. Inhale here. And exhale, extend those legs long. Arms fall down to the mat. And before we come into our Shavasana, I invite you to take a full body stretch, reaching those arms overhead, lengthening your body here as we inhale, reach, reach, reach. And exhale, bring those arms back down by your side. Allow yourself to soften into your mat here. Palms are face up. Maybe those toes fall to the outer edges of your mat. Allow your body to settle here. Allow your mind to soften. And as you enter into your Shavasana, maybe you take one final moment to imagine yourself, this farmer at the edge of your field, at the season's end, after harvesting all of your crops. all of the insights, all of the strength, all of the resilience that you've acquired throughout, carrying that away with you, holding on to what we know will help us grow, and leaving behind what no longer serves us. Entering into your Shavasana now, I invite you to release control of your breath. Release control of any judgments, any frustrations that may have arisen throughout your practice today. And allow your mind to rest, relaxing here in your Shavasana. When you're ready, begin to bring some movement back into your body. Maybe wiggling the fingers, the toes. And maybe you begin to deepen your breath, bringing those hands to your belly and to your heart space. As you inhale, breath in, feeling your belly rise with air. And as you exhale, breath out, feel it soften back into the mat. And perhaps from here, you go ahead and take another full body stretch, reaching those arms overhead. Inhaling, stretching those feet and arms away from one another. And as you exhale, go ahead and bring those knees into your chest, giving yourself one final squeeze for your practice today. And from here, maybe you begin to rock from side to side, forwards and backwards, finding this playful movement, and eventually allowing yourself to fall over to one side of your mat before gently and carefully pushing yourself up to a seated position at the top of your mat. Eyes can stay gently softened here. Maybe you go ahead and bring those hands back to your knees or the tops of your thighs. And let's go ahead and take a few rounds of breath together. Awakening our bodies and bringing us back to this moment. We inhale in through our nose and exhale out through our mouth with a sigh. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhaling here through your nose and exhaling out, maybe a louder audible sigh this time. Last time, we inhale in through our nose, pausing at the top here. Go ahead and take one more sip of air in through your mouth and exhale out the loudest audible sigh you can. releasing what we no longer need with us today. And as we inhale, we sweep those arms overhead, connecting the palms at the top. Exhaling them down to our heart space in Anjali Mudra. You are lighter now, wiser, more open to what lies ahead of you. Breathe in and breathe out. Feel this space within you, now cleared, now tended, and now ready to begin again. Inhale our thumb knuckles to our third eye center. And as we exhale, bow forward. And if you would like to join me, we'll end this class by saying Namaste. Thank you so much for being here with me today. And I hope that you truly have enjoyed this 4-part shifting series. It was so much fun creating this series. And I really would love to hear any feedback that you have, any thoughts or comments you have to share. Please leave them in the comment section below. And before I end this video today, I just wanted to share a quote that I saw on social media that I feel is very fitting for the end of this series. But enjoy being in the process of becoming. Enjoy being in the process of becoming. With that being said, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I hope to see you soon.